A federal court has said that voter fraud basically doesn't exist. So imposing all of these incredible draconian measures to limit people's ability to vote is not going to be allowed. Trying to crack down on in-person voter fraud is not a strong enough justification for Wisconsin's voter ID law, according to a federal judge, because voter impersonation virtually never occurs and is unlikely to become a real problem in the future. This was the striking down of a law signed by Republican Governor Scott Walker back in 2001. U.S. District Judge Lynn Edelman held that although the Supreme Court ruled in 2008 that states had an interest in preventing voter fraud, Wisconsin's voter ID law wasn't justified because voter fraud in person basically doesn't exist. Just remember, every time, as we know that Republicans, because of changing demographics and the progressivization of the country, will need to rely on gerrymandering as well as these so-called voter ID laws to continue winning elections. Every time they talk about it, remember, a federal judge confirmed this is not a problem. This is an attempt to fix a problem that does not exist for political gain. These are voter suppression laws. And we need to stick with the evidence, Lewis. This is just not an issue.
Right. And I think the law was signed in 2011, wasn't it? Because I think you said 2001.
Well, no, in 2011 is the Scott Walker law. I apologize if I misspoke on that. And 2008 was the prior U.S. Supreme Court decision.
Right. And pretty much across the country, voter fraud, the individual instances of confirmed voter fraud are completely negligible. Don't get fooled. Anytime anyone is trying to pass a voter ID law, it is to try and ensure a victory for Republicans.
If you step back for a second and think about the fact that it is mostly one political party that is pushing a law to prevent something that occurs less than 0.001% of the time, but would affect roughly 11% of the voting public, there's a political interest in there. You can absolutely bet your money on it. Guarantee it. And let's remember this decision as we go into the 2014 and certainly 2016 elections. Let's take a break. Facebook.com/David Pakman Show. We've got a great interview coming up and much more. Glad you're with us today on the last 4-show per week of the David Pakman Show, 5 days a week starting next week. This program is supported directly by you. Please go to davidpakman.com/membership to become a supporter today and get a whole bunch of great member benefits while doing it.